Hi all, it's Kerry here. Hope you're going well. Just wanted to do something a little bit different today. I started doing a couple of cards yesterday at our craft group and I wanted to finish them off, but I wanted to show you first how they, and I'm sure most of you have done this, but in case you haven't, how the bases started. So this is the sort of idea, and I'm just going to embellish the rest of them and finish them off. But that's what we did at craft, and then I was faffing around trying to organize what I wanted to finish them, how I wanted to finish them off. So they were done using a range of distress oxide inks. Now I've only got one of those, but I'll show you the way they were done using my distress inks rather than my distress oxide, and then you can just the technique is similar. So I'll show you how I did that, and then just on a little one, and then finish off the cards just for a bit of fun, just for something a bit different. So I thought I'll just use what I've got here at home. And I had, so we'll get started and explain it as I go. Now I had somewhere, just want to use just going to clean that off. Okay, so I've got these soft brushes. I find they work easiest for doing this sort of work. And I'm actually going to snip this tag, this off, because it'll the string off this tag. So you can do it for anything. You can do it for a page, or but I wasn't fully organized for a page, so I've just chosen a few colors. I don't know what I'm going to use. I started yesterday, so I'm not sure if these are the correct colors I used. I did this one first. So one of the, I think the one at the back is Kitsch Flamingo, and then I stenciled over the top with, I'm not sure what color it was. I looked and I don't know. So just a darker purplier color, pinky purple color. I should have written it down, and then I actually used that color there down the bottom. And this one, I am pretty sure that I used shaded lilac, and then I did a mixture of cracked pistachio and salvage patina to do those. So that's more blue, that's a little bit more blue, and that's more green. And then I think it's a cracked pistachio is down the bottom there. So what the sort of idea was to mask off a little bit. I'm going to try and use this. I don't know if I've ever used this tape before. Mask off a little area and then stencil. So I'm just getting any old masking tape, and I'm actually using, you can't see it, but on my pants I'm making it so it's not too sticky, so it doesn't wreck the piece that you're working on. And I'm going to mask off, just going to make it really simple. Going to mask off an area where I don't want the ink to go. I'm just going to stick that down. And these are the colors I've got in my distress inks, as I said, that sort of go together. I've got other more neutral tones, but I thought I'd just go for something a bit more bright and pretty today because it goes quite well with that stencil. This stencil is huge in comparison to the little tag, but it's just a demonstration to see what the process is. So I'm actually going to do similar colors to what I did that one with. I'm not even going to worry about that. And what you could do is on a sheet of paper, I'll just use this here just to get ideas of your color. Just test it see what sort of colours you get. So that's that sort of colour. I quite like that. So I'm actually gonna, and what you do if you've never done this before, this is what I was taught. You probably all got different ideas. I was taught to start off the page and gently start adding more colour. And at first, I'll put my glasses on because you can't even really see much of the colour. And you can actually see that this ink pad has been used for other colours. So it's actually, there you go. That's brought up a whole lot more colour. Okay, and then I'll start doing it on top of that one. And that's much lighter. It's actually got, I think it's been used for pink, which is fine because I'll just go over the top. I do try and clean it off, but obviously there's still a fair bit of pink on there. It's okay because pink sort of goes with that. And then you just put that there. I don't mind a little bit of pink showing. Okay, so that's that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and clean this off as much as possible before I start my next colour. Now, ideally you have one of these for every colour you have, but I only own 4 of these. And I'm going to wipe around there just with a baby wipe. I only own 4 of these at the moment, 4 or 5 of these. One's for brown that I use constantly. One's for greeny colours. And the other 2, I can't remember what they're for, but I think this one's just whatever. Just try and clean that off as much as possible before I start the next colour. Okay, so that's the first part. Now the second part is to decide, I'll close that ink, decide where you want, like where you want your stencil to be. So I don't know if I want, because it's a small tag. So I wouldn't mind it like, do I like that? Don't have to think too carefully. I'm going to do it like that. Okay, I'm going to do it like that. There, so I'm going to do it. Now what I'm going to do, it's a very big tag, a very big stencil for this little tiny tag, but that's okay, it was the first one I grabbed. I'm actually going to tape my stencil down, just so it doesn't go flying anywhere. Because when you're rubbing the stencil, you don't want it to go everywhere. Just do it in 3 spots. I can find the end. Okay. There we go. Now, it's going to be too small to use 2 different colours on this, so I might use the Salty Ocean, the blue. Oh, I'll use it. So that was shaded Lilac. I'm going to use the Salty Ocean. Now sometimes what I do, if I'm a bit worried that's going to be too strong, I put it into my lid of my ink pad, then I start on the edge and then I add it. That's actually quite a strong colour, which is fine. Now, something to be really careful of, this one's not too bad, but you can get some stencils, I don't know if I've got one handy, that have bits that when you rub them, because you want to do gentle rubbing, but sometimes if you get too vigorous, you actually lift those bits up and then the ink goes in underneath and it spoils your effect because the ink goes where it shouldn't. You don't want it to go. So just be careful of that. So I'll just do that one down there. You can actually tell quite nicely that this one's gone on the spots. I'm trying to make sure I get it all into the little bits so nothing is missed. And normally if the stencil wasn't so big and I didn't have it so well tied down, I'd check it before I lifted it. But I can actually see that it's gone everywhere. And then I just pick up the stencil. I will clean that soon so it doesn't get stained. And then you lift that up. And then you've got that effect and you can use that to put a sentiment. Okay, so that's just generally the idea of what the general idea of what we did yesterday. So I'm just going to clean that off, quickly clean it off my stencil so it doesn't stain it. And just dry it off with a slightly drier piece. Put that aside. And dry that off. And because I'm not actually using that right now, I will put all of these out the way, and I'm going to actually move this out the way as well. Can you call Cal, please? I'm videoing. Yep. And then, sorry, my family just got home. They want to get in the house. Okay, so this is what we have here. So that's the idea that we used to make this up. And so we have a wedding tomorrow, and we have friends that got married, and we're having a wedding party tomorrow. Sorry, we've had friends that have had baby just over a week ago, I think. So we're going to go and visit them today. So I've got a baby boy card to make and a wedding card to make. So I just thought I'll finish putting them together. So most of you, they're just, that wasn't very straight. A lot of you probably know the process of putting work cards together, but for those of you who don't do what I did. Try and fold it as neatly in half as possible. And that one as well. So I'm just folding the card in half now. Just the plain white card. And then I'm happy with it. Just using my bone folder to put a nice crease in. I hope I haven't got ink on my hands. So I've got, so with this one, I thought I would add a bit of, might make that a bit smaller. Get my scissors and my cutting tool. And of course I haven't got tape or anything nearby, so that's really good, Kerry. Okay, so I'm just going to do this by eye. I'm not one for measuring. So I've got the word celebrate. Now it was white. It was stamped onto, and the lady where we did it, she had I think it was probably a Stampin' Up stamp, and it had the die cut to cut it out around the word. So I'm going to cut this black down a bit. And as I said, I'm doing it with my eye just to get a nice little shape. And I'm going to make it a little bit narrower. Like that. There we go. Okay, so that's for that one. And then for this one, I'm not sure if I actually want to put that on black because it's for a baby boy and I don't want it to be a little bit more delicate because it's for a baby. Don't know, can't decide. What I'll do is I'll cut this down to the right size and then I can decide, hey, where is straight? I don't know if you can hear my cogs turning in my head. Okay, there we go. Okay, well, maybe I will do that. Just cut it that tiny bit shorter. As I said, I'm not one for measuring. Then I've just got to grab my box with I can with my, excuse me for a second while I reach my box of. Now normally when I'm journaling I use a lot of glue, but because I'm doing cards and I actually want a bit of height, so let's concentrate on the wedding one first. So that's the wedding one. Now I brought these. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them or not, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of them or just one of them. Or let's see if it looks tacky if I do that. It looks a bit tacky, I think. Don't know if I like that. Actually, don't know if I just want. They didn't have any different sized. Okay, might do that. Leave that one off. Okay, so what I'll do is I will first of all, where's my beautiful glue? So we'll use my glitter glue. Clean that out. Make sure it's going to run for me. Just put some glue. As I said, normally when I make cards, I do it with tape, and when I do journals, I use glue mostly. So I'm crossing the line. Oh, that's about the middle. Now this glue doesn't have much wiggle room. It does dry clear, thank goodness, because I've just made a bit of a mess. Put too much on the tea. That's what I was saying. It was die cut on a white card, and then I actually just used the background ink to colour it the same colour. I'm going to lift it with a little bit of a smallish. I don't want it to be too high. So I've got so much foam tape and things that I need to use it up. Stabby tool. We don't need quite that much, but it's done now. Like I said, it needs to be used up. Okay, celebrate. I think that's straight. stick that there. And then I'm going to use some more of my glue. Yeah, we'll use my glue because it's nice and strong. I don't have it. Yeah, like that. So it look a bit like champagne bubbles. I won't go too far out to the edge because it'll squeeze out. That one there. That one there. Push them down a bit, close my glue so it doesn't jab, jab. It's not going to jab, my jam. Okay, now let that dry for a minute and then we'll do the welcome baby boy. Now, I didn't check. Oh, they are right. Okay, good. So this one, yeah, we'll put that, just highlights it a bit. Okay, so we'll put, I have my double-sided tape handy, so we'll glue this as well. So you can use that method, the stenciling and the blocking out, on all sorts of crafts. It doesn't have to be just for card making. I guess that's what I was trying to show you. You can use it for your tags for your journals, or you can put it on a tag for a Now I did notice though, if you look now that it's dried, the because I didn't use the oxide ink, and I think that's maybe what it is, or maybe it's the card, I don't know, but it's sort of that one there, it's run a bit the other side where maybe the ink was drier by the time I got to it. It hasn't run, so that's really interesting. So maybe the purple underneath was, don't know, so maybe test it before you do it, or maybe I was more vigorous and I put more ink on and it went in underneath the stencil, but I don't know if you can see. It's much clearer on that side and less clear on that side. So maybe test it and see how you go. Maybe I was too vigorous and got in underneath the stencil. So that's a good idea to maybe test how you go, or maybe it was the ink. But as I said, that side seems fine. It's that side that's gone all blurry. So I'm glad I tested it, but I like how you can block out using tape. Okay, what I might do, yes, I'll do that. I will use actually a thinner one of these. I have got, there we go, use this one. These are a bit more dainty, they don't stick out as far. Okay. I will have to run and get my double-sided tape. I don't know why I don't have it handy. And I'll put it that side. Like that. And then these, I think I'll do these. No, can't do do these down here. They're a bit bigger than I'd normally like, if I've got some smaller ones. Just bear with me, I'm sorry, I won't be long. Just quickly go and get my double-sided tape. No, can't find my double-sided tape. Okay, so we'll make do. Oh, here we go, my double-sided tape. Okay, so this one should be dry by now. While that one's drying, we'll put this together. Move these out of the way. So, that out the way. My card. Get that ready, make sure it fits. Yep. Double-sided tape. It's quite a wide one, this one, which is good for sticking cards on. And I must say, I just tear mine because it's easier. Some people probably don't. I might actually only use these two long ones. And maybe a little short one in the middle. I get my pokey tool to get the started peeling it off. There we go. Come on. So I go when I get round to it, if I haven't got other appointments, every second Friday during school term, one of our churches here in Toowoomba has a craft group, and you can do beading or mosaicing or card making. I used to do mosaicing, but I haven't done that for a little while. And I've been doing card making, and I've been finding that a lot of the ideas, I'm just going to stand up to do this, a lot of the ideas that I get for the card making I can use with my journaling as well, which is fun. There we go. And then I'll put some more on the back here. I'm actually going to do it this way. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, there's some, we've used stencils, we've used some, and I want to include them now. I want to do some videos on using the ideas. So we've used some paper piecing techniques, some embossing, using colour with embossing folders, some really lovely ideas. I missed quite a few. I only went once last term 1 of the school term, and I've only been once this term, but I think we're only up to week 5 or something, maybe week 3, so I've only missed one so far this term. But yeah, it's really good. The ladies are lovely and we have a lot of fun. Okay, so that's that card. A bit crooked, but that's okay. Shows it's handmade. So there's that one there for the wedding, and then we can finish off this one. Oh, I haven't stuck those on yet. Okay, I'll stick those on once I've done this. I think that'll be easier. So 1, 2. Don't know why I nearly always do these in 3s. Probably overkill, but you never know. You don't want your card to fall apart after a while. Seeing it's a wedding card and a baby card, they might actually keep them. Who knows? Don't know anymore. I've kept most of my things like that, but people don't always do that these days. Let's burnish the ends, then they might come up a bit easier. I dropped my pokey tool, and it still works really well, but if I look closely, it's actually got a little bend in the end. But I've had it for years. It's probably one of my first things I bought for my own tools, and I would be lost without it. Absolutely lost. I love my pokey tool. Okay, now we'll put that on there as well. Make sure the card's the right way up. Oops, that's a little one. That'll do. A bit bigger. One, 2, 3, 4. There we go, and let's glue these. Standing up and sitting down and standing up. You keep hearing my chair. Okay, let's glue these little diamantes on. Hope they stay on nicely. Oh, stay. Stuck. I've got sticky fingers from the tape, so it's stuck to my fingers. One. Oh, that's going to really work. 2. Is that actually smaller? It's the same size. Just going to put the 2 on. Okay, so those are those done. There we go. So that was just a little project that I thought we could use in journaling to make tags or even decorate pages, and just use some sort of masking tape or something to mask off an area that you can then write something in there. Let's write something in there. Joy. There we go. For your tags or whatever you like. So that was, yeah, I hope you enjoyed, just something a bit different. If you enjoyed it, please tick like. If you have any comments or any ideas or anything you saw in my video that you think might have helped with the the ink. Maybe what you think it was the Distress Oxide, using the ink instead of the oxide ink. Yeah, let me know. Any color combinations you like. Yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.